Last week, I got a call from George's wife, my closest friend for over 40 years. Her voice trembled on the phone. "Harold, George is in the ER, they think it might be a heart attack." My heart sank. Just the week before, we were sipping tea on my porch, talking about summer fishing plans. George doesn't smoke, he walks every morning, and eats reasonably well. But sitting next to him in that hospital room, holding his shaky hand, I remembered something I had mentioned to him months ago, something he brushed off: niacin. That simple vitamin B3, just a $3 bottle, has been shown in multiple studies to lower LDL cholesterol, raise HDL, reduce vascular inflammation, and cut heart attack risk, often outperforming expensive medications. But because there's no profit in it, no one talks about it. As I watched my old friend fighting through the wires and monitors, I kept thinking, if only he'd started that one pill a day. So today, I'm sharing this story with you. If you're in your 60s or 70s, like I am, and think, "I feel fine, I don't need this," please think again. Have you ever wondered why something cheap, effective, and backed by research isn't more widely known? In this video, I'll show you why, and exactly how to use niacin safely, including the best form and time of day. If this story struck a chord with you, drop a comment below. And if you've had chest pain or know someone like George, stay until the end. I'll walk you through how I take niacin each morning to support my heart health, and I believe you can too. When George opened his eyes after that terrifying night, the first thing he asked was, "Harold, what just happened to me?" I held his hand and answered softly, "You had a heart attack, George, it nearly took you from us." I didn't blame him. Most people don't realize that a simple niacin tablet, vitamin B3 that costs less than a cup of coffee, can have a massive impact on heart health. But I also knew I couldn't stay silent anymore. Because here's the truth no one talks about: niacin not only lowers LDL cholesterol, it also reduces vascular inflammation, supports endothelial function, and cuts the risk of heart attacks, all backed by solid science. I remembered the Coronary Drug Project, a large, placebo-controlled study that showed niacin significantly decreased mortality in heart disease patients over time. But was it on the evening news? No. Because nobody profits from a $3 bottle. If you're watching this and you're on statins, I'm not telling you to stop. But you should know what many don't: statins can cause a range of side effects, muscle pain, fatigue, even heart failure, due to their suppression of coenzyme Q10, vital for your heart's muscle cells. They also reduce testosterone, which many seniors can't afford to lose. Niacin, on the other hand, helps balance HDL and LDL, lowers dangerous C-reactive protein, CRP, levels, and acts as a powerful antioxidant that prevents arterial inflammation. If you're not aware of your vascular inflammation, you might be sitting on a ticking time bomb. Drop a comment below if you've tried niacin, or if you're on statins and curious about safer alternatives. Don't forget to like this video. There are thousands of Georges out there who need to hear this. And stay with me. In the next segment, I'll show you exactly how I take niacin, the best form, the right dosage, and how to avoid the flushing side effect most people fear. This might change your life, just like it nearly saved George's. Every morning, before the sunlight even spills into my kitchen, I sit quietly with a warm glass of water in one hand and my 500 mg extended-release niacin tablet in the other. I take it after a light breakfast, usually oatmeal with some banana slices, and then spend a few minutes breathing deeply, centering myself before the day begins. Why this ritual? A few years ago, my doctor warned me about my dangerously high LDL cholesterol and C-reactive protein, CRP, levels, a major red flag for vascular inflammation. He prescribed statins, but within weeks, I felt like a shadow of myself: muscle pain, fatigue, even brain fog. I knew I had to find another way. That's when I stumbled upon the Coronary Drug Project, a major clinical trial showing that niacin dramatically reduced heart-related deaths. It wasn't flashy. It wasn't expensive. But it worked. Since then, my HDL cholesterol has improved, and I've felt more energetic and mentally sharp. I'm walking longer, sleeping better, and most importantly, I feel like I've taken ownership of my heart health. If you're curious, start with 500 milligrams of extended-release niacin daily, ideally after breakfast. You might feel a warm flush. It's a sign the niacin is doing its job. You'll get used to it. Have you ever tried niacin? Curious how it fits into a heart attack prevention diet or your blood pressure-friendly routine? Drop your questions in the comments. I'm here to share and listen. And don't forget to hit subscribe. In a world full of noise, this might be the one quiet habit that actually saves your heart. One morning, during a routine checkup, Dr. Tim, who's been watching over my heart health for nearly a decade, gave me a serious look. "Harold, I think you should stop taking niacin. It's no longer part of the standard cardiovascular treatment guidelines," he said. I was stunned. I had felt the improvements myself: lower triglycerides, increased HDL cholesterol, better sleep, and even more stable blood pressure. Why would I stop something clearly working for me? I asked, "Do you have recent studies showing niacin isn't effective anymore?" He shook his head. "No recent trials. It's just the general recommendation now." And that, to me, was the red flag. That night, I revisited the old research. Like the Coronary Drug Project, which showed that niacin reduces vascular inflammation, suppresses oxidized LDL, and improves endothelial function. It wasn't a miracle drug, but it was a powerful ally. And the cost? Just $3 a month. So I decided to continue. But I also doubled down. I incorporated the DASH diet, increased my intake of anti-inflammatory foods, and committed to light, consistent exercise. Every follow-up test since then has backed my choice. I'm not sharing this to tell you what to do. I'm sharing it so you realize this: taking control of your cardiovascular health is a deeply personal journey. Research. Ask questions. And above all, listen to your body. Have you ever been told to stop doing something you knew was helping? Drop your story in the comments. And if you're curious how niacin fits into a holistic strategy to prevent heart attacks, hit that subscribe button. We're just getting started. I still remember the first time I took niacin. After a light breakfast of oatmeal, I swallowed a 500 milligrams extended-release niacin tablet, thinking nothing of it. But about 20 minutes later, my face flushed, my ears turned red, and a burning sensation spread through my body. I panicked. Am I having an allergic reaction? Did I do something wrong? I called my doctor. To my surprise, he chuckled, "Congratulations, Harold. That's the classic niacin flush, completely normal. It means the niacin is expanding your blood vessels, improving circulation, and starting to fight vascular inflammation." I couldn't believe it. What I thought was a side effect was actually a sign that this powerful antioxidant was doing its job. From that point on, every flush reassured me, my body was responding, cleansing. I also learned that if I took it with a full glass of water or after a meal, the niacin flush would be milder. And after a couple of weeks, my body adjusted. So if you're thinking of incorporating niacin into your heart attack prevention routine, don't let the initial flush scare you off. It's part of the process, a signal that oxidized LDL cholesterol is being targeted, HDL is improving, and your cardiovascular foundation is getting stronger. Have you ever experienced a niacin flush? Share your story in the comments. And if you found this helpful, hit subscribe to join me on this natural, effective journey to better heart health. I still remember sitting in that sterile doctor's office, the fluorescent lights flickering above as my physician squinted through his thick glasses at my blood results. "Harold, your cholesterol is high. Time for statins," he sighed. I chuckled and asked, "I'm not against medication, doc, but is there another way?" He hesitated, then leaned in and whispered like it was a secret, "Have you ever tried niacin?" "Niacin? I thought that was just a vitamin," I replied, puzzled. He nodded, then pulled open his drawer and handed me a printout of a clinical study, the Coronary Drug Project. It stated clearly that niacin could reduce cardiovascular mortality, lower triglycerides, increase HDL, and reduce vascular inflammation. Why haven't I heard about this before? I asked. Because no one's funding ads for it, he said. A bottle costs only $3. There's no money to be made. That night, back at home, I dove into the research. Study after study confirmed the same thing. Niacin lowers CRP levels, cuts down oxidized LDL, and helps maintain healthy endothelial function, the very lining of your arteries where heart disease begins. And I decided to give it a try. Not because I'm anti-modern medicine, but because I believe in simple, natural, scientifically backed solutions. If you've ever felt misled by mainstream recommendations or boxed into limited choices by big profits, drop a comment below and share your thoughts. And don't forget to subscribe. We're just getting started uncovering the everyday remedies that can save a heart, one beat at a time. I still remember the first time I heard about statins. I had just received my cholesterol test results and was sitting in my doctor's office. "Mr. Harold," he said, "your cholesterol is high. I'm prescribing statins." I nodded, but couldn't help asking, "Doctor, is there another option?" He smiled and replied, "Actually, there is niacin." That moment surprised me. I had always thought niacin was just a simple vitamin, surely it couldn't compete with the mighty cholesterol-lowering statins. But as I dug deeper, what I uncovered completely changed the way I viewed heart disease treatment. Statins work by reducing cholesterol production in the liver. Sounds great, until you realize that cholesterol is essential for producing testosterone, bile, and absorbing fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, E, and K. When you block cholesterol, you risk disrupting all of those critical processes. I discovered that many people who take statins long-term suffer from muscle aches, weakness, and even heart failure due to the depletion of coenzyme Q10, a nutrient vital for heart muscle cells. But what about niacin? It not only lowers LDL cholesterol, but also raises HDL, reduces triglycerides, and most importantly, it helps reduce vascular inflammation, something statins aren't particularly effective at. Even better. Niacin costs less than a cup of coffee, just a few dollars a month. Of course, niacin can cause a flush, that warm, red skin feeling. But if you use extended-release niacin, that side effect becomes manageable. So if you're weighing your options, an expensive drug with potential long-term side effects or a natural, affordable, research-backed alternative, take time to think it over. I'm not saying you should quit your medication, I'm just sharing what helped me control my cholesterol, reduce my heart attack risk, and live a stronger, healthier life. If you or someone you love has used statins or niacin, share your story in the comments below. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss another health story from me, Harold Bennett. I remember it vividly. One Monday morning, just as I was pouring my first cup of coffee, I got an email from a viewer named Margaret, 72, from Ohio. She wrote, "Dear Mr. Harold, I just wanted to thank you for your video about niacin. After consulting with my doctor, I started taking extended-release niacin. It's been over 3 months now, and my cholesterol levels have significantly improved. I wake up feeling more energized every day." That wasn't the only message I received. Smith, a gentleman from Florida, shared that after watching the video, he spoke with his doctor about adjusting his statin dosage and began integrating niacin into his heart health plan. He said, "I used to think only prescription drugs could help, but now I see that natural options exist, and more importantly, I feel in control of my health." Stories like these touch me deeply. I know how overwhelming it can be to navigate all the medical advice out there. But now, we've built a community. A place where we can learn, share, and support one another. And if you're watching this right now, perhaps you have your own experience to share. Have you ever tried niacin as part of your effort to lower cholesterol or prevent heart attacks? Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear. We're not just building a YouTube channel, we're creating a smart, supportive community for seniors who are committed to proactive cardiovascular health. If you found value in this content, please give it a thumbs up and hit the bell so you don't miss future stories. And don't forget, the comments section below is our shared space to connect, inspire, and spread knowledge and hope. I remember clearly, a few years ago, my doctor warned me, "Harold, niacin is a good supplement, but if you overdose, it can be trouble." I was skeptical. How could a $3 bottle do so much good and still pose any real risk? But he wasn't wrong. While niacin is praised for lowering LDL cholesterol, raising HDL cholesterol, and helping to prevent heart attacks, it isn't free of side effects, especially when misused. One common reaction when starting niacin is the flush, your face turns red, and a warm, tingling sensation sweeps through your body, almost like you've eaten a fiery hot pepper. It's caused by blood vessel dilation. Though harmless and temporary, it can scare people enough to quit before they see the benefits. More seriously, excessive doses may cause liver damage, stomach discomfort, and increase the risk of type 2 diabetes. That's why my advice is, take it slow. Starting with extended-release niacin 500 mg is a smart move, and always under your doctor's supervision. I often tell my friends, don't let impatience turn a helpful nutrient into a health hazard. Whether it's heart health supplements, vitamins, or even natural remedies, knowledge and patience are your best allies. If you're watching this, it's because you care about cardiovascular health, and I truly respect that. Keep walking this journey wisely. Have you ever experienced a niacin flush or had a unique reaction to niacin therapy? Share your story in the comments below. I read every one. And don't forget, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another video on senior heart care. Let's keep living strong, informed, and joyful together. I still remember the day I began my journey with niacin. It wasn't an easy decision. On my kitchen table sat 2 bottles, one was a statin prescribed by my doctor, and the other was a $3.19 bottle of niacin I picked up at the local pharmacy. One represented modern medicine's promises, the other a whispered remedy, the kind you only hear about from someone who's been through it all. Today, after months of taking niacin safely and consistently, I feel compelled to speak up. Not to replace medical advice, but to share my story, a story from a 70-year-old man who can still drive himself to the store, climb the stairs without gasping for air, and most importantly, no longer live in constant fear of a heart attack. I'm not claiming niacin is a miracle cure. But my experience, lower LDL cholesterol, higher HDL cholesterol, and just feeling more alive each morning, was enough to make me wish I'd discovered this sooner. I sometimes think, if only my father had known about this before being tethered to statins for life. That said, everybody is different. Before trying any supplement or natural approach, even niacin, you should talk to your doctor. Especially if you're managing heart disease, diabetes, or liver issues. Now, I want to hear from you. Share your thoughts below. What have you tried? What questions still linger? This community of seniors focused on heart health is built for sharing and support. If this video helped you, hit the like button, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe so you don't miss out on the next HeartSmart conversation. Every click from you strengthens our circle of people choosing to age vibrantly and wisely. And if you want to dive deeper, check out my blog or join us on Facebook, where thousands of folks just like you are learning how to manage blood pressure, reduce vascular inflammation, and build a stronger heart one day at a time. Thank you for spending time with me. Let's keep our hearts strong, and our stories even stronger.